So I added the my string here as the input to the program, and this is actually here. So when I run the binary, the mypipe binary, it will actually start the program from here, and it will start and continue doing the job. And during the program, it will actually create another process, which is the child with that parent process. And when I put the my string string, I actually try to write it to the parent. So the parent gets the input and tries to write the string to the pipe. And this is obviously it's printed here. So parent writes my string, which is the input string, into this pipe. And once this happens, the child starts to read the answer, and it will try to perform some functions which is within itself, which is actually within the child process. So what it is going to do is to perform kind of a concatenation to that string. So it basically take the my string and it will try to actually concatenate that string with a fixed string, which is concatenation word. So it will actually concatenate the string, the my string, with the concatenation word. So it adds the concatenation to the to this string. So finally, we will obtain a new string, which is the my string, concatenation string, and the child then will try to write this string with this new string here. So it actually achieves here and tries to write it into the second pipe, which is in this direction. So we earlier explained that we need basically to have a bidirectional communication between the child and parent processes. So we need to establish two pipes because the pipe are unidirectional. So then this string is going to be sent to the parent process, and here where the parent reads the correct string, which is actually sent over here. So this is the how it works. So let's now look at the code and let's see how in practice more coding it works. So if I go to my code, so this is actually the code. So I am going to basically reach here in this line. So here, if I want to have a map of the code and what I just explained here in the board, is going to be like this fork. So until here, I am basically just before this point. So when I call the system called fork, it will generate the process or the child process, which is actually this, and also it will keep the process of the parent. So when you apply the fork function, it will return two processes with two different p-values. One positive, which is actually for the parent process, and the other is which is actually equals to 0, which is for the child process. So if we continue the code, we will see that when if the p greater than 0 is being processed by this else if, then this means that this is actually the part that the parent is processing the stuff. So it will, as it's clear here, it will try to write the input string to the pipes, as I explained you, and then it will wait for the child to be terminated. And so this is basically it's going to wait. So when it tries to write, it's going to wait until the child job is actually going to be finished. So now let's move forward and see what is happening in the child section. So in this child, we have the read, which is obviously this one. So this is actually the child this time. It's also because it's actually the case of p equals 0 this case. So this goes to doing that, and then read the data from the pipe 1, and then try to concatenate that input string, which is fixed string with a concatenation string. And so basically it does this operation that we explained, and then it will write again back to the second. So it's actually ft2, as you noticed here. So this is the second file. This is actually the second pipe that we are going to write data. So we are going actually to write the concatenation string to the second pipe. And when we do that, we then need to perform some termination operation. So we do exit so that the child is going to be finished. And then here, if we go back to the parent process, we will see that again we do a read operation. So basically it's the control arrives here. So the parent process has been waiting for the child to be finished. So it's actually has been waiting for here. So once it finishes and once it sends the data, then it's actually the signal. There is going to be a signal from the child that the parent will receive about the child being actually terminated, and then it will continue doing his job. So it will continue to do the read from the second again pipe and read the data from my string, as it was clearly the new actually concatenation string, which is actually received by the child process. So that's the whole picture of this example. So now let's move on to the third cases, which is actually the so now we're going to move on to the bus monitor. So we will see how this actually the message passing section works. So in the next in this section, and so for this we are going to launch two software. One is the dbus server software, and the other is the dbus client software. So the first software is introducing the A that I was explained in the previous section. So this is actually the A, and this is also the B software. So we are going to see that how this works. So let's start to run the program. So I'm going to run the server. Now I am going to run the B software. Good. So now, as it is clear, the work has been done. So it is quite clear that the client has called a ping function, which is responsible to send a ping